So in the last video, we got here talking about our Friday Night Dungeons and Dragons group, and I really didn't go through really what the people are doing. So we have, of course, I talked about uh, Azor the Fearful. Azor the Fearful was started as a human paladin. Um, then you have Brother Grievon's character, who's Frank's middle brother. He was playing a half-orc paladin. They're both paladins of Tyr, and Brother Grievon, both of them fell out of that. Brother Grievon, I put on basically a religious um, austerity, and then he came and saw the light of Talos, and when he was blessed, he basically became a full-blooded orc. He got bigger and stronger, like the tusk and everything. So he's basically a priest of Talos now. Then you have Matt, who's Frank's youngest brother. He was playing a known thief, and then he got reincarnated, which I said into a drow. He got into an issue, and the fearful one killed him. Now, his second character, I think he's the only person in the group that's had to make a second character. Azar, by all rights, should have had to, or Christian, I should say. Um, so, Brother Illness, he made a uh, high elf, regular standard elf, blade singer from the book. He came as they just Frank went in and started him at 7th/7th level. Um, he was actually going to start him lower, and I was like, "Yo, bro, you should hook him up." He got kind of jacked there, but again, he's probably he's been quite a few sessions in this character, so he's probably got himself a couple levels since then. He's done a real good job. Like his character, a lot of times his characters can kind of be like shisty and kind of behind the back and lots of notes, and they have less interactive aspect to the other group. Not terribly, but they do tend to have less. And this character isn't really like that. He's all like an elven defender and all this stuff. So it's kind of giving us some interesting play points. And, it's interesting to see, like, explaining, how he's doing this dancing fight and really going into sort of the intricacies of that. And there's a lot of good role playing there, a lot of good role playing potential there. My character gets along pretty well with his character. So that gives us, another Blazing Fighter Wizard. For those that don't know, it's a kit from the Complete Elves book, which is often regarded as by far, the most broken of the Complete Book series. So then you have, let's see, who else do we have here? Of course, Grubson's character is a half elf that became a werewolf. That's also a ranger. That's his class. I don't really know anyone else's levels. I just know his and mine were both 12th level. I'm a human barbarian follower of Talos, who has interacted and Talos has appeared in the game. My character also has, unearthly can barbarians can break magic items, for magic does offend them. The nature of witches. And the druid, my character, like, that's a little more than my character understands. So he's like, "You are my witch." I was like, "Well, no, actually, I'm a druid. I don't know, like this big idiot." He doesn't call me idiot because he knows he would be pummeled. But he's like, "I don't know. The big guy keeps calling me a witch." And, well, I'm a druid. I'm following Sylvanus, and my character, of course, Sylvanus and Talos are actually like. So my character looks at his god as kind of bitch ass, but also frivolous and harmless. Like, "Oh, you worship trees? All right, cool, bro." But whatever. I mean, how mad does the fire really need to be at the tree? You know what I'm saying? Oops, you're just a casualty, bro. I mean, come on now, check your brainstem. Um, so we got that deal. And this character's really cool. He's got this like intricate like shield and this big like maul that he's got all these like vines on it. He loves to use like entangle and plant based sort of spells, spike growths. He does decent amount of shapeshifting. You have to be 7th level in this edition to shapeshift. Um, I don't know what level he is either. He's a split class. He's a fighter druid, but he's got to be over 7th level as a druid because I know he's been a shapeshift for a long time in the game now. And he started out like, I don't know, I think like 4th/5th or something like that because once the experience point divide. We started the characters at 5th level in one class. So, and David came in a little bit into the game. Um, Basically, both Frank's brothers, 2 guys, and then Christian, Ryan, and myself. So we were like, we had 5 players starting, and the first one shot it was going to be, and then we just kept going with it because it was really quite good. And then subsequently we added, let's see, 2 players that got kicked out, and then David. So they've been up to 8. And now on Friday, one of my other buddies from the other game, I showed you the group of players. I think he's in there. He's a Ginge. The name's Steven. He's going to be joining into Frank's Friday night game as well. And in January, we're also going to MarsCon 2020, so you can see your main man live and in living color in Press the Flesh, if you will, at MarsCon in Virginia. one of the bigger conventions, maybe the biggest convention for role-playing games in the state of Virginia, over there in Williamsburg. You can get your tickets today online. I'll be there. It's going to be Mr. Grubson's first con. That's one of his many Christmas presents, and there's going to be you can meet Frank there. Bootleg will be in attendance. In the living Holocaust of flesh itself, and Lou. There's a lot of videos here within the Ring of Fire stuff. You've seen Lou. You can come there and see Lou. You can play with Lou. You can play with with Nick, who is in fact a gnome, and he has a wooden spoon, so he might hit you with that. He's very ornery, funny as shit. I seen him about whoop somebody's ass at Gen Con. That shit made me laugh like a mug. So yeah, that's going on. But let's see. We talked about David. Steven said he was thinking about making a halfling wizard for his character, which that's pretty interesting, I think. Christian now, I don't know, he's got some kind of curse on him. Like, it is a curse. Frank created this like death cult. He created a goddess called Nadine, or some kind of primordial thing. He's trying to hint that it's like very old and trying to come back. He had Kellenvor. No, it was like Kellenvor, because Kellenvor was like a bitch ass dude. But he had Kellenvor killed in the game, and Nadine is trying to get that portfolio. I had, again, like I said, there were once like a lot of followers of Talos in the country of Cormier, and they were like, most of them were killed in a lot of wars. Basically, the fact that you had like regimented warriors against wild barbarians. They slowly got beat down. There's only small pockets of them left. But my character, he is the undeniable beater of ass, and he does beat that ass on 24/7 on demand. And whether you demand it or not, that ass is going to learn what it needs to pay. So we're there in Cormier, and there was basically like part of one of the plots there was this old adventuring party, and there's this guy who, I don't know if he was always a demon or became a demon, or I don't know. Like, I don't know what his deal was, because I don't like to know information like that I haven't learned in character. But he basically turned into something that looked like a demon or gargoyle and like flew away at the end the last time we seen him. And he was some kind of wizard. My character didn't like him or trust him from the beginning. A lot of the other players did. So we had a lot of situations like that where our characters had different views on different NPCs, which always makes for a fun deal. When you have different views on different NPCs. So when you have that, it can really make for an interesting, different, entertaining kind of a deal. So let's see. One of them his name was Stormbreaker, and I found out like he had this sword. Like in Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, where swords are like +1 / plus this against this thing, and his sword was like an extra bonus against followers of Talos. It's called the Stormbreaker, and I found out about that. So of course I'll whoop that dude's ass, and made him humble. And then of course we bring him into the town, and he's sitting there and it was really more, I guess, like for Azor, like an enemy for him. I don't really care, so I don't like to step in people's spotlights. So I'm letting him do his thing. The guy's like, Frank's clearly trying to push this scene. Like, I was like, fight me now, 1-on-1, fight me with honor. And he's like, he's the coward, man. He's the coward of the county, baby, and that county goes everywhere he goes. So he just executes him right there in front of everyone. Like, he summons a town, just executes the guy right in front of all the children and everything. And Cody's like, oh, that's kind of brutal, man. All right, then. But a barbarian for the frozen north or whatever. But he looked at him and seen his ass was bitch. So that is how the cowardly one goes about his tactics in this reality itself. So I get his sword though. I take the sword and I do this whole big ritual, and I take the sword and I break it, and I make the sword humble. And that's when like this whole deal happens, where this huge storm comes up. And I actually encountered Talos as I please him by sacrificing this weapon to him. I did a whole elaborate ritual deal. And I mean, anyone that knows me knows, I can really build some religious shit up to a magnificent crescendo. And in the height of that apex, the storm come down, the lightning, the thunder, this shrine basically erects itself. Well, it's not really a shrine, but it is like this big holy relic, this stone. As the storm came down, as the sword was broken, and I just have the sword and all that stuff just laying over there by the shrine. And my character's not like about building temples. He didn't care about a temple. He's like, look, there's my God. He is above us. He's above you and me, and he's above your God. He is the clouds. He is the heavens. He is the sky. He is the thunder, and he will whoop your ass. So, and I got the big voice. This big barbarian that likes to drink his wine and drink his mead and drink his ale and drink everything he can get a drunk on. And I got the drinking proficiency, which is a proficiency in addition, as well as intimidation. And singing. My character can sing. He's a good singer. Big, deep, baritone voice, just belting them hits out, hit after hit. It gets legit, baby. Uh, and that's always something really important to do when you're playing a character. You want to make sure you have some skills. You can actually do something with it. Like, I could fight. What else can you do? I can fight. Okay, what are you, like a highwayman? You know, don't you have any kind of useful tactic for the world? So you really want to put that sort of mental lubrication upon your character creation. The group itself, though, for the most part, like we get a lot of real good role playing, like real long, heavy stints of role playing at the campfire, in the homes, and whatever. My character went into the village. He just went over by there, and it was like somebody else's land. It's a Lord's land. And he just paid some people to build him a house right there, like just ignoring anything else. Like, oh, just build my house right here beside the statue, beside this monument. And I mean, who's going to stop him? It won't be you. I'll tell you that much. I had the scene where Matt's character got killed. They shot, like, I'm running with him, and they shot a bunch of arrows. The guards in town hit me with arrows. So when I come back, I went over to him. I saw the arrows in me, and I'm like, ah, and I'm pulling like an arrow out, and I look at it and I go, "This is your arrow." And he's like, "Well, yeah, but Azor told us we had to." I'm like, "All right." So I look at the one guy and I said, "This is what's going to happen to you if you ever shoot me again." And I grab the other guy and I take the arrow. I just start shoving it into him. And I don't kill him, but I jack him up bad. Like, I just like, as I'm putting the arrow in, the other guy's like, "Okay, Goldie, won't shoot you." God, my friend don't die. Barbarians have hellacious hit points, bro. When you roll d12s, when you got double the Constitution modifier, and in this, you don't get barbarians don't get normal Constitution modifier; they get double. So if you get a +3 bone, my character's 17 Constitution, and I got that in the game at the start of the game. My column was like wasn't even a bonus; it was low. Yeah, it's been bumped twice by the game master, and things that happen, big religious sort of scenes, and he likes to kind of bump things up and like kind of take a character from here to really push it up to really make it majestic and historic and legendary. But I have a 17 Constitution, which I mean that's normally 3 extra hit points per hit dice. But for a barbarian, that gets double, so that's 6 extra hit points per hit dice. So my character got a lot of hit points, and it'll be definitely interesting. Uh, Interesting when we get to this, because we're basically going to like a citadel. Apparently, we don't really know, but as far as I'm guessing, it's like a whole bunch of followers of Tyr there, but they may or may not be. There've been assassins and bounty hunters, and a follower of Kellenvor who was played by the big bad booty daddy Scott Steiner. He actually got killed, but he whooped Azor's ass. They had a fight, and he almost killed Azor. Somehow Azor he got knocked out and defeated, but he didn't get killed or brought back. I'm not sure what happened. I think somebody else interceded and chased them off. So it was a pretty cool deal. And our characters met, and we fought at first. And then my character was like, "Well, wait a minute," because we got Ravenloft. I'm like, "Well, I don't really have any beef with you." And God knows everyone likes to whoop Azor's ass. He's like, "Yeah, but that guy's stealing from Graves, robbing Graves." And I'm like, "Yeah, he sure is." So I was there told him the whole story. It was bad because like these two big dominant alpha male just sitting there talking, and Christian's standing there. I'm like recounting the whole story because I was like right there watching the whole time, kind of judging him and seeing his shambling tactics. And I'm out of character, in character. I've tried to work with this guy so much, it's ridiculous. Like he doesn't get it. Like he doesn't get it. He sat there and tried to tell me, "Well, your character would feel this way about this." I'm like, "Bruh. First of all, don't ever say that. I'll smack you in your mouth. Don't ever say that. You have no idea I know exactly. I played my character in here. I know exactly how my character feels in any given situation because I'm thinking like him. I see how he feels. And the character is very chaotic. Just because he says something here, over here, that doesn't mean he's necessarily going to go that way. I try to make my character very good-hearted, um, trying to like go for the best for people if he can. If he can't, well, he can't. But if he can, he wants to go for the best for people. He's really more of a chaotic good alignment with the occasional, horrible burning a village down or something that, Talos. Well, it only happened once again. I didn't have to burn someone's village down and kill a lot of people. And even in my defense there, I got this, I don't know it's like an artifact. I guess an artifact or a relic, whatever, because it was given to me by Talos. I have this badass torch that I can just, when it starts burning, it burns the fuck out of things. My character's been further blessed. He's immune to fire. Talos got a fire, like he's just immune. Like, he walk right through that fire and whoop that ass. So there've been some real interesting things there in the story. It's a good game, and it's really nice kind of getting that old school feel with with Dungeons and Dragons. It's fun to go back and to play that in a way and to experience that with my son for the first time in his real gaming career. And we have a lot of other games on tap that we're going to be planning to play. We have some old school World of Darkness. It's probably going to come up next, and we have maybe after that, maybe we're going to do Star Wars. But again, World of Darkness. This game could go quite a few more sessions. Like I said, we're almost at a year on this game. So that's very nice. All right, guys. Well,